All right, without further ado, allow me to introduce the next speaker. Our next speaker is going to talk about the involvement of the National Service Training Program, or NSTP, students in Operation Baklas. She's president of Network of Educators for the Environment, or the PNEE. And of course, one of GC's very dedicated trustees, Dr. Cecilia Gascon.
Yeah, thank you, Sir Randy. Good afternoon, everyone. Without sharing my slide, magsimula na ako. So, thank you, DNR, and thank you, Comelec, for that sharing. As introduced, our projects involving the National Service Training Program of the university. But apparently, hindi na lang si NSTP ang ma-involve because I presented these to uh, the Administrative Council last week, and the president agreed that the university will be actively involved in this operation Baklas. Okay. So the idea here is to involve the students, and but aside from our students, as what I mentioned, the College of Agriculture, si Dr. San Jose will be actively involved as the core, okay, um, person to engage in this operation Baklas. Okay, so yung I cannot share my screen. Pero yung objective nito, hindi lang siya basta operation Baklas but this is more about educating also the youth and actively involving the youth in this activity in collecting the tarpaulins in our main streets and even in the barangay. So we plan to do this on May 21 to 30. Kaya nga yung question ni Dr. San Jose kanina was very relevant. Baka late na kami. But then again, we believe na hindi pa naman late yung activity na ito. As what I've said, this is more of education because we would like our students to be actively involved in the collection as well as in the disposal. Kasi nakita ko din kanina sa discussion na we have to look into yung toxicity level of the tarpaulins hindi siya pwedeng i-reuse lahat. Okay? So yung implementation, and then this will be done not only in the town of Lokban because as what was mentioned by our dean, we are waiting for the memorandum from the office of the president, and I told the president that this should not be concentrated in the town of Lokban as we have 9 satellite campuses and all the satellite campuses will be doing. So all throughout the province of Quezon where SLSU has a campus, we'll be doing that. We will be participating. Okay? So uh and then after that isusort namin kasi the idea is to give back the tarpaulins to the respective owner. So we will be needing also the assistance of the barangays. We will be coordinating that, and of course the office of the mayor kasi yung sinabi kanina na kailangan yung permit namin from the office of the mayor. So that would be properly coordinated. So ano ang expected outcome namin dito sa Operation Baklas? We would like to have a cleaner, clutter-free um, towns in the province of Quezon. As what I've said, we have 9 campuses differently situated in different towns in the province of Quezon. And of course, the active involvement of the youth in governance and sustainability, proper disposal or reuse of these thousands of PVC tarpaulins, and of course, strengthen the coordination of the university, the LGUs, and other stakeholders. So how are we going to monitor? Because it is important that we involve the youth, but how are we going to monitor the involvement of the youth? Meron kaming logbooks, no? And this will be maintained by the team leaders. And then there will be briefing before the actual conduct of the Baklas activity. para makita din namin so that we will properly guide the students. And of course, merong final report. And in the report, they have to include the number of tarpaulins that were removed, and of course the number of hours of the volunteers. We have to monitor also the number of hours that they used in the Baklas operation. And of course, yung may student reflection, okay? And of course, the partner feedback. Yung student reflection is very necessary kasi we do not want to involve our NSTP just for the sake of, only the physical muscles will be involved. But we would like to involve also their minds and of course their heart, okay? So yung stakeholders, as what I mentioned, the municipal government, the local COMELEC, the barangay officials, syempre yung mga election candidates natin, and then yung different environmental organizations in the area. Okay? So meron tayong sustainability and advocacy. This is the post-campaign through seminars on eco-friendly activities, and then yung NSTP initiatives on waste upcycling, and then integration of environmental ethics in education. So this is very important that we integrate environmental ethics, no? Itong Operation Baklas exemplifies how youth-driven civic action can contribute to cleaner communities and a more sustainable electoral culture. So with strong partnerships and proactive execution, itong initiative na to can set a model for other towns seeking a post-election environmental recovery. So, ang gusto natin dito, kasi 'di ba every 3 years we have this election. And of course, every 3 years, parang tinitingnan natin na ito pa rin yung makikita natin. May mga tarpaulins, and then may Operation Baklas, may upcycling, recycling of the tarpaulins. But this is not the kind of cycle we want to keep repeating. Okay? So this is not, because kaya importante yung education, no? So this is not the environment we envision for our future, as there are better options. Okay? So, well, yung political leaders natin can change, and of course, they must change the way election campaigns are conducted. So hindi na lang siya puro tarps. Okay, so there are ways to reach people without harming the environment. Okay, so kasi yung ano natin, yung Operation Baklas natin, parang ano siya, reactive, no? Reactive on how we will protect the environment despite the presence of the tarpaulins. Pero may mga ibang options, like for example, uso naman yung digital platforms and social media. So we can reduce, using this, we can reduce the dependency on plastic-based campaign materials. And of course, yung ibang, of course, parang mahirap ito sa mga politicians, pero yung person-to-person, values-based campaigning can also foster, genuine connection over visual noise, and most importantly, by focusing on real work, on programs that reach the grassroots, touch lives, and speak louder than any poster can ever could. We can reduce the need for propaganda entirely. So let it not be said that youth only follow. Kasi sinabi natin sa kanila, they are NSTP students. Of course, susunod sila sa atin. Pero ang importante dito, makita natin that youth can also lead, no? So not only in the Operation Baklas, but in educating also the community. So sana ito ay hindi lang isang cleanup operation, but a wake-up call, a catalyst for reform, and a vision for a more sustainable democracy. So I invite everyone, mga estudyante, mga teachers, mga leaders, yung citizens, local government, and also the politicians, let Operation Baklas be not just something we do. Let it be something we inspire, no? Let us build a future where elections leave no trash. Okay? But they will leave only trust. Okay? So a future where civic action and environmental care walk hand in hand. Okay? So sana yun yung message na gusto natin na ipaalam sa lahat. And in behalf of the Philippine Network of Educators on Environment, Green Convergence, and of course the Southern Luzon State University, this is our hope that in the next elections, politicians will not be leaving the trash, but only trust among the community. Maraming salamat po, and good afternoon sa ating lahat.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much for letting us know about this great initiative with the students and the whole university, Dr. Cecil. Yeah, trash and no
Trust.
trash, trust. Okay, indeed, involvement of the youth is very vital in doing meaningful actions for our environment and for our society as a whole. It is with these that we get to influence children to be active participants in caring for our environment. As mentioned, not just the body now should be active, but also the minds, our advocacies. All right. Thank you, Dr. Cecil, and to those in SLSU who are involved in this project. So
Marian?
I believe, yes, Sir Ravi?
Yeah, excuse me. I just got word that Attorney Casey Lofranco of DENR is leaving shortly because he has to attend to some things in the office. Can we have, uh, let's give her a question or two before she leaves?
All right, sure. If
She was
anyone,
who gave an overview of the Operation Baklas.
yes. If anyone has questions for Attorney Casey, maybe we can entertain one or two before she attends her prior commitment.
Okay, in the chat box. I'm just asking if DNR is doing toxicity testing with regards to the TARPs. Wala ata.
Ayan. So, if the DNR is doing toxicity testing regarding the TARPs, as of now, ma'am, the only directive was to gather muna the data on the types of, the quality of the items that will be, that were used. Pero as regards the toxicity, parang wala pa po. But I will, check on this if there was also a directive or if there will be a directive to determine as well the toxicity of these materials.
Okay. Is that
Yeah, I think this is new data that we are discovering, and we will have to look into it. And that's good that we learned about this in this forum. Thank you.
all right? Sige, thank you very much, Attorney Casey. Thank you for attending and giving us the information that we needed. Okay, Marian?
Thank you so much po. Maraming salamat po sa lahat. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Attorney.
Marian?
All right. I believe I've also gotten word that Dr. Cecil has a prior commitment to attend to after her talk. So I think we could entertain one or two questions as well for Dr. Cecil with
Yes.
regard to the university initiatives for Operation Baklas.
Okay.
Dr.
Alright.
Cecil, do you plan to encourage the other members of your network to do the same? Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I already forwarded the proposal, no? The proposal that I presented during our board meeting at Green Convergence. I also forwarded that to the members of the board of PNEE, and I am encouraging them to do the same. Yeah, but I haven't get any feedback whether they will be, they will be doing the Operation Baklas or participate in the Operation Baklas.
Okay. Last question before
May I raise my question?
All right po,
Doc
sir. Please,
Randy.
yes, okay.
Doc, good afternoon. Wala ba tayong future plan to end this poster, uh, political poster? Pwede naman tayong siguro, hindi na tayo maggawa ng poster by plastic. Kasi kami, on my end, gumagawa din kami ng eco-bricks. Pero, itong poster na plastic, hindi ba naisip na i-end na to or petition later? Thank you.
Yeah, actually, that is one of my recommendations, if possible. Kanya lang hindi naman ako makakasagot niya, no? So, dapat ang gobyerno natin ang makakasagot niyan. But we can always, advocate to end this tarpaulin during elections and even during ordinary days kasi kahit may program, lahat may naka-tarpaulin and medyo medyo alarming yung information that even these tarpaulins are have to meet certain level of toxicity. And based from our first speaker, marami dun sa mga tarpaulin have exceeded the toxicity level. So that is also harmful, no, to us. Halimbawa, gawin natin na bags o kaya aprons, yung pala beyond the toxicity level yung mga tarpaulin. So hindi rin maganda sa atin. Okay? So mas maganda talaga na wala yung mga tarpaulins. Kaya nga I am encouraging yung mga use of social media in campaigning, and then of course yung person to person, and then yung talagang performance ng ating mga leaders, no? Kasi kahit naman siguro less na yung campaigning nila if the people can feel that they are really working well for the community, for the grassroots, and for all of us, I think hindi na nila kailangan mangampanya ng ganun ka-intensive. Thank you.
All right, very well said po, Dr. Cecil. I believe wala na po tayong questions for Dr. Cecil, if I'm not mistaken. Ayan, I think we can move on now. Thank you again very much, Dr. Cecil, for your insights. We can now introduce our next speaker, who will discuss how tarpaulin waste is made into lumber. That's interesting. She is the Executive Vice President of the Alpha Distinct Development Solutions Incorporated, or Alpha DDSI. Please give a warm welcome to Ms. Michelle Tanyada. Makakalikasang araw po, Ms. Michelle.
Makakalikasang araw din, Marian. It's nice to see somebody as young as you to be like really involved in this event.
You.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi po. First of all, I'd like to thank Green Convergence for inviting me. I'm not really that prepared, but I will try to share whatever we can po on behalf of our company, Alpha Distinct Development Solutions, and of course, I also belong. I'm also one of the founders po of PAS, which is the Philippine Alliance on Sustainable Solutions Foundation. And I am also together with President Vicky Segovia of Green Convergence in the NCWP, which is the National Council of Women of the Philippines. So this is part of our advocacy. Now we're saying that waste is really not our enemy. So it is the Philippines' untapped resource. And our future isn't really about consuming less, but it's about being able to create things smarter, which we can do through upcycling. So from pollution to production, from pollution to innovation, I think that the Philippines is very much equipped with the talent and the creativity and even innovation in making this happen. So yun po nga yung parati kong, yung pong advocacy namin, ano po, na kumbaga from polluters, we can be producers. So from waste generators, we can be change makers. So I make this very quick so that we can focus really on the challenge that we have in our hands right now. But allow me to just introduce you briefly on what we do para lang po ma-explain namin kung ano po yung ginagawa po namin. Can we go to the next page, please? So this is our company po. So we're 100% Filipino-owned, and we really create cost-oriented projects, products, and programs that highlights the Filipinos' creativity, ingenuity, values, and now innovation through opportunities. Of course, through the synergy with the different sectors. Next, please. So for Alpha po, we actually have different brands, one of which is Eco Home Art. So yung Eco Home Art po kasi, ito po yung brand that we've established in the year 2015. And at that time, we were just limited to water hyacinth, palochina, and yung pong mga doypac. So those type of waste are what we use to come up with high-end furniture, lighting accessories, and home decor. Next, please. Ito naman din po. So I think about 3 years ago, this is what we've created. The brand Wasto Waste Solutions. Kasi nga po nakita natin that it's really high time that we focus on what we can do to address climate change. So we've developed a product line na para pong mga basic needs, ang mga basic po na essentials na pwede po natin magamit sa pang-araw-araw natin na lifestyle. Next, please. So, yan. So, again, yung tresya naman po, naisipin natin, ay, pwede palang maging accessories din, maging fashion accessories. And so, we also have a tie-up with the Miss Earth Foundation. So, tinutulungan din po tayo ng Miss Earth to help us with our advocacies and with our products to promote what we can do through upcycling. Next, please. Just to show you po what we can do. So ito po, this is the booth that we made. Can you believe that the wall po is actually made out of plastic waste? And all of the products that are there are basically made out of our waste. Next, please. So Alpha po is a waste diverter accredited by the Philippine Alliance for Recycling and Material Sustainability. We have a lot of non-government partners. We also have partners from the government. And we are very blessed that we are surrounded with the experts when it comes to circularity, like, of course, Sentinel Technologies and other NGOs po, and private entities that specialize in upcycling and waste management. Next, please. So ito po yung sinishare namin. We are also the recipients po of the DOST-ITDI Agri and Plastic Waste Wood Composite Technology. And this technology po was transferred to us so that we can use the different agricultural waste and make it into boards and lumber. Next, please. So these are the agricultural waste that we can combine with plastic waste. Next, please. So that's the core technology po na binigay po sa atin ng DOST-ITDI. So it is a Filipino innovation. So talagang ang titindi ng utak ng mga Pinoy. Wala po talagang, ako po bilib na bilib po talaga ako, and I'm very proud to say that I'm a Filipino because we have a lot of talents na talaga pong dapat nating pagmalaki, not just locally but internationally. So next, please. So ayan po, can you imagine we can make tiles out of agri-waste na katulad po nito? So ang ginawa po namin, we've developed, because of this technology, we developed and fabricated machines that will be able to process this waste din po. So all our machines are also proudly Philippine-made. Next, please. So can you imagine eventually we can do decking, we can do wall cladding panel using this DOST ITDI technology na hindi na po mabubulok, water resistant, fire, rust, and termite resistant. Next, please. Ayan, so moving forward and to address the problem that we have right now, and ito pong project na Operation Baklas, I was very fortunate that I was able also to speak to Engineer Oliver Villamena of the MECO of Marikina. Engineer Oliver, are you here with us? I invited him to join us as well. From the
Yes,
Senate.
I'm here. Good afternoon.
Hi, Engineer. Opo. So, si Engineer po, so together with the Engineer Joko po, which is a plastic engineer, na-share po sa akin ni Engineer Joko, and I just would like to share what Engineer Oliver Villamena and his team has been doing when it comes to upcycling of tarpaulin. Kasi nga po sabi ko parang hindi pa naman talaga ganun karami yung technology. But again, I'm very blessed po that we have a scientist that's helping us now. We have Dr. Maris Paglikawan, who was formerly with the DOST ITDI, who are helping us, who are helping our company develop kung paano po ba natin na magkaroon po tayo ng ibang gamit pa po sa tarpaulin using the machines that we've also developed. So next slide, please. So basically, sharing lang po ito. And these are Engineer Oliver's team, Engineer Marikina. So can you believe na ito po ay gawa sa tarpaulin din? Kasi po, we know that it can be used and made into bags. It can be sewn, it can be repurposed. But I was also very amazed when I saw this, and thank you very much, Engineer, for this one. So, ang nakikita niyo po ngayon is something that's very concrete na talagang mapapakita natin na made out of old tarpaulin. And I believe that it is not just after the campaign period that we can use this, but pwede po natin gamitin sa iba't iba din po. So, kumbaga whole year round, kay may eleksyon, kay wala, this is something that us, the Filipinos, can also use in our daily lifestyle.
Thank you very much. We are impressed with the way Filipino technology has been used to repurpose waste, trash. No, thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Let's go to the last speaker. We have somebody, national coordinator of Eco Waste Coalition, who is set to detail to us the pros and cons of upcycling tarpaulins. Without further ado, let's hear it from Ms. Luz.
So maraming salamat, Sir Randy, no? At magandang hapon po sa lahat, no? At ako'y nagpapasalamat, no, sa Green Convergence sa pagbibigay sa akin ng oportunidad, no, para i-share yung aming insights doon sa subject, no, na sabi nga ay ito yung upcycling ng mga tarpaulins, no. Meron bang cons, meron bang advantages at disadvantages, no. So nakikita niyo po ba yung aking slide?
Yes
Ayan.
po.
Okay, maraming salamat. So pero bago ako magdire-diretso, no, ay nais kong ipakilala ang aking pinagmulan, no. Ako ay mula sa Eco Waste Coalition, no. Is a non-profit environmental health organization network ng 140 public interest groups, no. So we are moving forward dun sa panawagan ng Zero Waste and Toxic Free Society, no. Nakagaya din ng mga adhikain ng Green Convergence, no. So makikipagtrabaho kami with government, industry, and civil society, no, to advance our mission para sa ating lahat, no. We are founded in 2000 at ngayon ay nasa 25th year na kami of service of the public health and the environment. Okay, sige. So punta na ako doon sa aking topic, no. So umpisahan ko muna sa pagbabalik tanaw, no. Ang Pilipinas ay isa sa mga few country that has good environmental laws, no. Na even sa constitution natin, it declares that the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology, no? At dapat ito ay in accord sa rhythm and harmony of nature, no? Kaya nga nagkaroon tayo ng mga complementing laws, no? Para sa pangangalaga ng people and the environment, no? Meron tayong Clean Air Act, meron tayong RA 9003 o yung Ecological Solid Waste Management Act. Meron tayong Fisheries Code, Clean Water Act, at kahit yung climate change, no? Meron na rin tayong batas sa mga ganyan, no? At dahil nga dito nagkaroon tayo ng election, ay naglabas din ang COMELEC o yung Commission on Election natin ng mga complementing law. Ano ito? COMELEC issued Resolution 11111 encourage niya, no, yung lahat ng mga candidates to use environment-friendly campaign materials, no? Halimbawa, dapat daw yung mga banner ay biodegradable o kaya made with reusable materials, no? Dapat ay sa mga rally ay energy efficient yung lighting, no? At dapat during the campaign, kahit yung election proper, reusable materials yung gagamitin sa food and beverage, no? So dapat containers, no? Walang styro, walang plastic, no? So maliwanag, no, yung ating inisyo ng ating COMELEC, no, on this, no. However, syempre gaya ng nakaraang iba pang eleksyon, no, by the way ng 2022 ay meron tayong 20 tons na nakolekta na garbage, no. Yan. This year, syempre, marami na naman, no. We have massive election-related waste. Hindi lang nung araw ng eleksyon, kundi even before the election period. Sabi nga, ito yung araw ng pangangampanya. Nagmistulang tarpaulin war ang buong Pilipinas, no? At according nga sa MMDA, after the election, ay nakakuha sila ng 11 tons ng tarpaulin and other election materials, no? At yun, syempre nagsisimula na yung mahirap na pasakit ng pagre-remove ng campaign materials mula dun sa May 12 election, no? Nagkaroon din ng ang MMDA ng collection na hanggang 288 bags ng trash, no, mula sa sample ballots, plastic bottles, saka mga food packs, no, dun mismo sa araw ng election, no. So ang isang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon ay paano nga paggagawin natin doon sa mga election tarpaulins, no, plastic tarpaulins, no. Yan. So like other forms of upcycling, nag-o-offer ito ng several benefits, no. Halimbawa, nagre-reduce siya ng waste, nag-create siya ng bagong product, nagpo-promote ng sustainability, no? Pero syempre, meron din itong mga potential drawbacks, no? Ayan. So, unahin natin yung advantage ng pag in-upcycle natin itong napakarami, sabi nga, 11 tons sa Metro Manila, no? Ang meron tayo sa na nakolekta, no? So, una, syempre, ito ay magiging stopgap, no? Kung atin ay i-upcycle yung mga tarpaulins, stopgap yan in entering the environment. Ibig sabihin ay ida-divert yung waste papunta sa landfill o kaya sa dump site at marireduce yung amount ng plastic na pwedeng mapunta sa environment, no? Tandaan natin, malapit na po ang tag-ulan at kailangan natin talagang solusyonan itong mga tarpaulins na nakukuha natin mula sa eleksyon, no? At ito ay babara, no, sa ating mga water streams, no? So, pangalawang advantage niya, nakakapag-create siya ng economic opportunities. So, pag in-upcycle mo yung tarpaulin, syempre, mag-create ka ng jobs, ng business na involved sa collection, sorting, at saka yung transforming tarpaulins into new products, no? Yan. So, nakakapag-ano ka, marami kang pwede bigyan ng hanap buhay, no? Para lamang i-upcycle itong mga tarpaulin na to, no? Isa maganda pang benefit advantage ng pag-upcycle, syempre, yung creative expression ng bawat isa, no, ina-allow ito ng upcycling, no, kasi yung transformation ng old tarpaulins into unique and functional items, no. So gaya nga ng mga na pakita ng mga previous presenters natin kanina, no. At syempre, cost savings ay isang advantage kasi imbis na bibili ka ng mga bagong gamit ay pwede naman na ginagawa mo na lamang na ina-upcycle mo na lamang itong mga tarpaulin na to, no? O kaya naman ay binibigyan mo ng bagong buhay, sabi nga, itong mga tarpaulin na wala nang pakinabang, no? Kasi tapos na yung election, no? Pero ito, bibigyan mo siya ng panibagong buhay para lamang hindi na siya makarating doon sa dam site at saka sa landfill. Kaya yung sabi natin stopgap, no? Pero bukod dito sa mga advantage na to na sabi nga ito yung mga quick fixes, no, na kasi nandiyan dyan eh, kailangan natin siyang i-manage, no. Meron din itong disadvantage, no. At ayan, ito siya. Una yung cost of materials saka equipment, no, hindi biro-biro yung ginagamit. Hindi ito ordinaryong sewing machine ay pwede kang makapanahi, no. So this would require additional materials and equipment, no, na kailangan na dumadagdag dun sa cost, no. Industrial yung ginagamit dito, no. At hindi sabihin, hindi siya pwedeng ordinaryong mamamayan doon sa komunidad ay kukuha ng kanyang tarpaulin at i-upcycle into something, ay kakailanganin niya yung maganda at maayos na sewing machine, no. Siyempre, a disadvantage din yung effort and time, no? Kasi kailangan to, meron siyang specialized skills, no? Hindi ito school project, no? Kailangan talaga diyan na meron tong plano, no? Kung paano niya gagawin, no? At syempre, disadvantage yung durability and lifespan, no? Ito ay, sabi ko kanina, stopgap lang mang ito. Kasi meron na siya isang certain lifespan kung saan pwede mo siya magamit. Then eventually, mapupunta rin siya sa dump site at landfill, no? Hindi siya durable, lalo na kung ito ay masasubject sa heat at saka sa cold, no? So, nagbibitak-bitak din ito. At eventually, pwedeng lumabas yung microplastics na in a form of microplastic, no? At isa pa na nakikita ng Eco Waste Coalition ay yung exposure natin sa toxic chemicals, no? Yan. So, ang Eco Waste Coalition ay nagkolekta ng 42 samples, no? Bakit ko nasabi na may toxic chemical? Kasi sinabmit namin ito sa SGS laboratories for confirmatory analysis, no? So, yung mga nakuha namin ay lahat-lahat above the 100 ppm, no? Under the European Commission Regulation number 494 of 2011, no? Lahat ng manufacturers ay pinoprohibit na nila na maglagay nitong mixture na ito sa mga produkto kahit sa plastic na equal to or greater than 0.01%, no, or 100 parts per million, no. Pero doon sa nakuha ng Eco Waste Coalition na iba't ibang sample ng tarpaulin, no, ay nakita natin na merong 586, 449, meron pa nga tayo nakita na 692, no? At yung iba pa ay nasa 700 plus, no? So, meron tayo nakita 736, no? Yan. So, ibig sabihin, way above the 100 parts per million, no? So, ayan siya. So, kung toxicity, kanina narinig ko, may mga nagsasabi, meron ba toxicity? Meron po. Even before the 2022 presidential election, ay nag-conduct din ng Eco Waste Coalition nito, no? Kaya sinasabi natin sa mga nakaupo na sana wala nang mga tarpaulin sa susunod, no? So, malamang tatanong kayo, ano ba yung cadmium, no? Yung cadmium na nakita po dito sa mga tarpaulin ay ano siya, highly toxic, and exposure to this metal ay pwedeng makapag-cause ng cancer. Pwede rin matarget niya yung body's cardiovascular, renal, sabihin yung mga kidney nyo, gastrointestinal, neurological, no? Sa environment naman, ay toxic sa plants, animals, saka iba pang microorganism, yung cadmium, no? Hindi ito bigla-bigla nawawala, no? Persistent ito sa environment, no? So, kung siya ay nandiyan, ay mananatili siya na nandiyan, no? Habang tumatagal. Kapag ka ito ay humalo sa tubig, ay pwedeng makasira sa atay at saka sa kidney ng mga vertebrates and aquatic invertebrates and algae. Na syempre later on, ito yung mga kinakain natin, no? Sabi nga ng UNEP ay products containing cadmium are not typically collected separately from the general waste stream, no? Cadmium discards will end up in municipal waste and disposed in landfills, incineration, open burning, or indiscriminate dumping, no? So, kailangan talaga, kung kayang iwasan, maganda na iwasan natin, no? So, ayan. So, narinig ko kanina nandito sa SEMO ng Marikina, no? So, ito po ay isang practice ng sa Marikina City, no? While they are doing the shredding of the tarpaulin, no? At mapapansin ninyo, naka-gloves, naka-personal protective equipment, naka-gloves, naka-cover ang ilong, no? May mask, may goggles, no? Bakit, no? Kasi yung habang sinishred po ang ang tarpaulin ay meron tong maraming nilalabas na dust o kaya naman yung microplastics. And ayan, ito ay non-essential and toxic element para sa mga tao, no? Na po pwede makuha through inhalation, no? So, pwede ito mag-accumulate sa bone at saka pwede maging source of exposure later in life, no? So, kapag hindi ka naka-PPE habang sinishred mo ang plastic tarpaulin, ay yung mga maliliit na dust, kala mo dust, if meron ng halong microplastic, ay pwedeng pumasok yan dyan sa iyong ilong and eventually sa iyong baga na pwedeng dulot ng ng sabi nga yung COPD o kaya naman asthma o kaya naman other respiratory problems, no? Yan siya. So, dahil sa inyong mga lahat na nangyari ay ano na ngayon ang pwede natin gawin, no? Isa lang po ang aming ang lagit-lagi sinasabi ng Eco Waste Coalition para dito sa mga nagkalat na tarpaulin. Nasabi ko nga nandiyan na yan, no? So, ano yung pwede natin gawin para hindi siya mapunta sa environment, no? So, ang Eco Waste Coalition nagsimula doon sa upcycling even before the presidential election. Pero pag tinignan niyo po dito sa harapan ng screen ninyo, ang aming lamang mga nagawa ay yung mga gamit na walang direktang link sa pagkain, no? So bakit? Kasi pag nalagyan ng init, halimbawa ginawa niyo yung lunch bag at ito yung nalagyan ng init, eventually pwede mag-leak yung chemical na nandoon sa plastic tarpaulins, no? So ano lang siya, pwede siya na delivery bag, pwede siyang shoe bag, cellphone bag, o yung pencil bag, no? Basta hindi siya yung nilalagyan ng pagkain, no? And dun din sa ibang mga karton at ibang mga papel ay pwede maging memo pad, folder, scrapbook. So maraming pwedeng gawin. Lalo na magsimula ang klase, no? So teachers can make use of all these mga papel sa karton, para doon sa kanilang mga papalapit, no, na pagbubukas ng klase. Yan. So, kikita niyo po doon sa harap niyo yung mga karton at papel ginawa namin na ABCD o kaya naman ay clock, no, yung likod, no, para mapakinabangan ulit, no. Yan. So yan yung ilang mga pwede nating gawin para hindi muna natin itatapon. Sabi nga ay hindi stopgap muna siya. Gamitin muna natin, bigyan natin panibagong buhay, no? Bago yung susunod na eleksyon, no? Pero syempre, to realize a truly basura-free electoral exercise sa loob at sa labas ng voting center, no? Saka sa buong season ng election, meron kami ilang mga recommendations, no? Na pwedeng i-consider ng ibang mga stakeholders, no? Kasi mas maganda na hindi tayo namang problema doon sa pag-manage, no, nitong mga ito na hindi naman tayo yung gumawa in the first place, dahil hindi naman tayo yung nag-generate, no, dahil ito yung ating mga kandidato, no. So ang unang recommendations ng Eco Waste Coalition ay dapat strictly enforce yung RA 9003, no. So meron tayong batas, no, na nagpo-prohibit ng littering saka mandatory segregation. Maganda din na ang lahat ng kandidato, partido ay merong solid waste management plan sa buong kampanya, no, para pati yung kanilang mga supporters ay natuturuan nila, no. Kasama na dito syempre yung pagdalagay ng mga posters sa posting area lamang at hindi na doon lamang sa mga puno, no. Ayan. So dapat ito ay merong strict enforcement ng RA 9003, no, na merong accountability, no, at may penalty, no, para hindi tayo lagi-lagi naiiwan na pagkatapos ng eleksyon, pag natalo sila, hindi na sila kumukuha ng kanilang mga election paraphernalia, no. So second, strengthen natin yung enforcement ng COMELEC resolution, no, na dapat environmentally acceptable lang yung ating gagamitin. no? Um, pag sinabi natin na environmentally acceptable, syempre naka-define ito sa RA 9003 na ito ay pwedeng ma-reusable, biodegradable, o kaya naman ay hindi siya toxic o hazardous sa ating environment, no? So, ano pa? Dapat may responsibility yung lahat ng candidates, no? To utilize environmentally acceptable campaign materials at i-hold sila accountable, no? Meron na rin tayong extended producers responsibility. So, baka maganda na magkaroon ng extended candidate responsibility policy, no? Para lahat sila ay tumutulong, no? Um, so maganda magkaroon ng mandatory conduct in lahat ng mga kandidato, no, at partido sa clean up drive, no. At syempre dapat after noon i-require natin sila mag-tree planting, no, para yung carbon offsetting naman, no, ay magampanan din nila, no. And then maganda rin na mag-ensure ng efficient implementation ng RA 7904, no, na nire-require lahat ng COMELEC to furnish every registered voter with an unfilled official sample ballot, no? At least 30 days before an election para hindi na namimigay pa ng sample ballots na nag-end up lang being na nililitered ng election day, no? At syempre, maganda na isang recommendation ay isang law phasing out single-use plastic, no, and support reuse and refill system para during the election ay hindi na nagkalat ang mga PET bottles, ang mga styro, ang mga iba't ibang banderitas, no? Para makatulong hindi lamang sa eleksyon, no? Kung hindi sa everyday life natin, no? Bago ako magtapos ay nais kong tawagan yung lahat ng political parties, party list groups, and candidates to take full responsibility, no, dun sa environmental impact ng kanilang ginawang kampanya by ensuring proper retrieval, clean up, and management ng campaign materials, no. Tandaan natin, yung iniiwan nyo po na electoral waste ay nagiging responsibilidad ng ating mga local government units na dapat hindi naman sila yon, no. Ibig sabihin kasi pag sinagot na yan at nagpunta na yan sa kamay ng local government units, nasi-shift yung public funds na intended for public services saka sa health, no, sa pag-manage lamang ng mga election paraphernalias. Kaya sana mag-isip muna tayo, no, bago natin itapon itong mga tarpaulin na to. Wag din natin susunugin, no, dahil this will create air pollution, ano, at bigyan natin ng bagong buhay na hindi nakakasakit doon sa ating environment at sa ating human beings, no. So yan po at maraming salamat po.
Galing, galing. Nako. Si Marian, si Eileen Lucero was about to leave kasi may tatakbo pa yan. So we had to let you talk. Huh?
Yes.
But it's a big, you gave us so much to think about. Yung pros and cons was exact. Yung,
especially in
yes,
terms of safety.
yes, toxicity. In fact, there was earlier somebody from the audience said that, okay, can we collect and recycle on our own? So that's a good advice. At least if they heard you, that you would answer their questions. Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you po.
All right. Maybe we could entertain now questions for Miss Eileen since my prior commitment was to Miss Eileen Lucero.
Just
I
one.
think we could raise our questions 1 to 2 maybe, yeah.
And then go back to Michelle kasi abruptly stopped yung kay Michelle Tanyada. Sige, any questions for Eileen Lucero? Questions, please.
All right. From GMA, Miss Buon Aquino, go ahead po.
Hi, Ma'am Eileen. Nawagan ko po kayo last time, Ma'am. Ma'am, anyway pong, actually, inulit na po ni Sir yung tanong ko kanina. So, ano ko lang po, Ma'am, ulitin ko lang po. So, pwede po ba tayong mag-recycle on our own? Kasi sinabi nyo nga po, talagang delikado yung mga toxic materials dun sa mga tarpaulin, Ma'am, di ba? So, ano po yung pwede nating gawin kung may makita tayong mga tarpaulin sa labas ng bahay natin? And, yun nga po, can we recycle on our own? Thank you po.
Salamat, Von. Pwede ka mag-recycle on your own, pero yung maliliit lang, yung kaya lang. Sabi ko nga kanina ay may specialized na makina, no? Sewing machine para gawin yan, no? Ang iba nating kababayan, pagka malalaki yung mga tarpaulin, ginagawang trapal. Ayan, madali-dali yan kasi tatalian mo lang, di ba? So yan, pwede lang gawin. Pagka naman, yung iba naman ginagawang, kung merong mga tricycle, ginagawang pambalot sa mga upuan, di ba? So ito yung mga pwede na madali lang, no? Ang kasi ang kadalasan makukuha ng ating mga kababayan na ordinaryo, maliliit lang, di ba? May sukat lang, no? At to be able to make another item ay kailangan niya ng 4 o 5 ganon, no? So ganon yung itsura niya. At kailangan niya ng makina. So maliliit lang yung kayang magawa, no? Kaya kung meron po kayong mga tarpaulin sa bahay niyo ay isipin niyo mabuti, no? Sabi nga, ito yung papasok na yung creativity ng bawat isa, no? Para makita saan, ano yung kailangan nyo, ano yung pwede nyo gawin dito, no? Basta ang isa lang pong mahalaga ay huwag sanang nakarekta sa pagkain, no? O kaya naman yung iba wag niyo pong gagawin placemat, o kaya naman nilalagay sa pagkain na nasa may sa ating mga kitchen, no? Kasi ito nga po ay merong toxic chemical, no? So para makaiwas, no, sa pag-leak nitong mga ito. Yung iba kadalasan nilalagay sa labas, no, kasi para mas safe siya na nasa labas kasi nakahanginan, no. At pero syempre sa environment hindi siya maganda, no. Pero yan. Yan yung pwede. Ang pwede niyo pa magawa yung mga karton at yung mga papel. No, yan lang ang kayang kung kayang i-recycle ng ating mga kababayan.
Okay.
So, ma'am, yung ganitong last naman follow-up lang. Kasi sabi niyo po pwede yung sa labas ng bahay. And meron po kaming nakausap na ginagawa siyang pot for the plants. So, ilang taon lang po pwedeng manatili yun, ma'am, bago
Ayan,
po
so
natin totally dispose.
so
Thank you
kung
po.
pot for the plants ay dapat ang itatanim mo dyan, hindi fruit bearing. Bakit hindi fruit bearing? Kasi meron nga sa chemical na absorb ng soil yung chemical and then eventually mapupunta yun doon sa halaman. At kung yan ay fruit bearing o kaya naman, siyempre madali ang sili, madali ang okra itanim, di ba? So wag sa mga ganon. Kasi makakain nyo yun. Eventually mapupunta rin sa inyo yung chemicals, no? So maganda yung mga ano lang, bulaklakin, yan. Pero po pwede siya, no?
Yung lifespan, ma'am, nung ganong tarpaulin, yung
Oo.
ni-require po na size ng Comelec.
Oo, actually, meron yung lifespan niya ay medyo matagal din naman. Sabi nga, kapag kaya na subject sa init at lamig, ay eventually magbibitak yan at magiging microplastic, no? So, yun, kailangan din natin yung bantayan, no? Para mas tumagal. Pagka, mapapansin mo, pag yung pot mo, yung pot mo na made of tarpaulin ay nakalagay lang sa lilim, mas matagal yung buhay niya, no? At wala siya pagbibitak-bitak. Kaya sa ating mga kababayan, sabi ko nga ay nandito na yan kasi kailangan natin siya talaga i-manage, no? And let's manage it effectively. Merong mga sigurado merong maglilik pa rin, merong magiging microplastic, no? Kaya nga ang sinasabi ng Ecowaste Coalition, sana sa susunod na eleksyon, lalo na may barangay election ng December, ay sana wala nang mga tarpaulin kasi ang hirap i-manage.
And hindi naman magiging delikado sa kalusugan nila kung mag-upcycle sila on their own. Basta wag lang po i-shred yung katulad ng pinakita niyo po kanina.
Oo.
And wag lang malapit sa pagkain.
Oo. Oo, merong ganun pero sabi natin dapat kailangan kayo naka-PPE, no? Lagi kayo maghuhugas na kamay bago kayo kumain kung kayo yung humawak ng tarpaulin, no? Para lang din talaga lahat yung mga precautionary at saka safety put in place.
Okay.
Thank you po, ma'am. Ingat po.
Si Von Aquino pa lang nagtanong yung earlier. Anyway,
Yes, sir.
just maybe this would answer some concerns of other participants. Is that where do we bring the materials for toxicity tests?
Ayan, Sir Randy, bali, ang toxicity test ay ang Ecowaste Coalition, dinala namin sa isang laboratory, ano. So maganda, syempre kailangan ng resources, no. Ang maganda ay kung ang DENR, kung nandito pa po kayo, ay kung maganda sana na sa susunod ay meron ng mga toxicity test, sana ikokondak yung DENR. Kasi mas mura kapag ka doon, no, kesa doon sa mga private laboratories.
Sige, well taken. Okay, thank you very much po. Thank you very much, Eileen.
Salamat po.
Thank you very much, Miss Eileen. I think before po umalis si Miss Eileen, should we take our group shot po muna?
Or ano kaya? Are we okay? Kasi
Actually, may tanong ako how much does it cost to do toxicity tests? At saka ano yung specific lab? Is it local or foreign?
Ay, local lang po. Local lang po. Kaya lang, syempre, mahal po yung parameters kasi for cadmium. Kaya, nasa less than 1,000 po yung, pa-test, no? So, yun po. So, isang chemical lang po yun. Wala pa po yung lead. Kasi alam natin, may mga lead pa dun sa iba dahil merong tinta, di ba, yung tarpaulin, no? So, maganda na sa susunod ay wala na plastic tarpaulin, no? Meron naman ng canvas na tarpaulin like, no, na malalagay pa rin nila yung kanilang mga mukha.
Okay.
Alright.
Go back to Michelle. Kasi
Okay.
before kasi medyo sumingit tayo para ako
Alright.
Eileen, no? Alright. Sige.
Alright. Let's watch the video.
Tarpaulin ng mga kumandidato sa halalan, sinimula na ang baklasin.
Environmental Management Office ng Marikina, meron din silang sariling inisyatibo na magbaklas at mangolekta ng mga nagamit na campaign materials. At dito nila dinadala sa kanilang Materials Recovery Facility. Kung makikita ninyo, 2 araw pa lang sila naghahakot, no? Pero gabundok na yung dami ng basura at tuloy-tuloy pa yung pagdating ng mga truck. Dito rin inihahatid ng MMDA ang iba nilang nahahakot para ma-upcycle o mapakinabangan pa. Ayon sa Marikina SEMO, kahapon lang ay nasa 40 truckloads na o katumbas ng mahigit 13 tonelada ang kanilang naipon. Isa-isa nila itong sinasalansan. Ang mga maliliit at punit-punit na piraso, ginigiling at niluluto para maging semento. Ginagawa nila itong mga eco bricks o eco pots na ginagamit sa iba't ibang parke at eskwelahan sa lungsod. Pwede ring maging armchairs na idinodonate sa public schools. Habang ang mga buo pang tarpaulin, pinagtatahi at ginagawang bag.
Ang target namin dito sa mga eco bag na to, dalhin natin sa Marikina Public Market at doon, di ba, i-promote natin yung bring your own bag. Or instead na, di ba, yung malesen natin yung paggamit ng mga single-use plastic, ito yung ibibigay namin ng libre.
Nakikipag-ugnayan din sa pribadong sektor ang ahensya para madoble ang kanilang kapasidad. Para naman sa mga susunod na halalan, panawagan ng Eco Waste Coalition gumamit ng mas environmentally friendly na material para sa campaign paraphernalia tulad ng katsa para makabawas sa basura. Andrea Taguines, ABS-CBN News.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for engineer? Any questions?
For Ms. Michelle. Maybe we have questions. I think we could, while we're waiting for questions, I think since paalis na po yata si Ms. Eileen Lucero, maybe we could take our, paalis na po ba siya?
So Randy, if
Yes.
if I may add lang po, nakalimutan ko pong i-share kasi kanina di ba in the discussion, parang alternative to the tarpaulins were being discussed. And I would also like to share that one of our partners po in the circularity economy advocacy that we're doing, one of our partners po, which is really an advocate for circularity, Mr. Engineer Jonathan po of Sentinel, Upcycling Technology, has actually developed a material which is recyclable. Yes, it's plastic, but it's recyclable. And we're trying to promote it po as an alternative to tarpaulin. So yung mga posters, not just for campaign posters and materials. But in general, mas maganda po kasi siguro na kung ganitong klaseng material ang gamitin natin for some signages or posters or even yun po nga, mga campaign materials. Kasi po, ito pong klase ng plastic nito, we also have a buyback program. So if you use it, we can buy it back once you're used. Once you're done with it, with that material. So we have a program, Sentinel and Alpha has this buyback program wherein we buy those to ensure that it doesn't end up in our landfills and our ocean.
That's great. That's great. Any questions for engineer?
Yes, for Miss Michelle, our engineer.
Yes.
Maybe you have questions before we proceed to the second half of our forum. Yes, po. Green Convergence raised hand.
Maybe that's me.
Yes, po, Miss Tessa.
Yeah. Meron naman tayong technical experts dito, no, on plastics. I was just thinking, yung sinabi ni Eileen, the toxic materials come out only when it breaks.
Yeah.
Di ba? But that's why she was saying na it can be used for other things as long as it's not close to our food and it's not heated. Yung may mga ganon. But of course, I think the learning here is we should really look for alternatives to this tarpaulin, no? Kasi may mga toxic materials. So I guess right now we have it. And we want to upcycle it. But we have to upcycle it sa materials na safe para sa lahat, di ba? So, anong klase kayang material pwede yon? Anong pwede nating magawa with these tarpaulins that are now existing after this election? Is my question.
Michelle, will you handle the question?
Sure. Yes. Sorry again, may have the question. Sorry po. I had an important message lang po that I had to reply to. Sorry, ma'am. I have another meeting din po kasi after this. Ma'am Tessa, may I have that question again po?
Yeah, I was just saying na si Eileen said that as long as it doesn't break, it's not exposed to the sunlight, we don't use it for food. Medyo meron pang pwedeng magamit. We can still use or upcycle these tarpaulins into different things as long as they're not exposed to heat, it doesn't break. So ano kaya ang
Yes, ma'am.
Anong pwede?
Okay. Yung pong pwede, so yun nga po, yung nga pong pinakita nila engineer na ginagawa po nila with the tarp, I think that's very safe because it's a technology that was also developed by the DOST. As I've mentioned, we really need to also rely on our scientists kasi po syempre yun ang expertise nila. And I'd like to believe that they will not share the technology once it has not been tested in their laboratories. But of course, tama rin po si Ma'am Eileen kanina na di ba for anything, yung pong toxicity test, dapat talaga pinapacheck din po natin. And I believe that DOST has a way in doing this. Kasi nga po, di ba, parang if you'll introduce something or if there's a foreign technology, then you have to consult it with their materials division to ensure that it is safe and not harmful to the environment.
Yeah, may follow.
So in our case, yes ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah. Kasi ang in-emphasize ni Eileen, kung pinaproseso natin to, when we break it down, you have to wear protective gears, no? And it's safe if you do that. But I have to know, kunyari ginawa mo tong silya, I mean the chairs, for example, that they converted it into, maybe some of the scientists or mas safe na ba yon? Kasi hindi naman lalabas siguro ang mga toxic na doon or
opo ma'am, but yes.
So
sorry ma'am, sorry. Please continue.
Maybe we can hear from yung mga technical people who are here.
The engineer siguro.
Engineer, yeah, engineer, are you there? Engineer Oliver? I hope he is still here.
Yan pa ba?
Kasi talagang if through that kind of upcycling, hindi na sila lalabas, then I guess it's one way, that it's one option that we have to upcycle itong mga tarpaulins na to.
Yes, ma'am. That is for now. I believe it is an option. That is why I'm really thankful also to Engineer Oliver for sharing me the photos and the process of how they are doing it in Marikina. I think naman po it has passed because nga po even the machines that they have are also like parang they got it from accredited suppliers of the DOST. And yun nga po, kami po from Alpha, we're very fortunate that nakikipagtulungan po ngayon kami, not with, of course, a scientist, with Dr. Maris Paglikawan, so that we can continue to explore what else can be done. Kasi nga po, di ba talagang napakalaking problema yan, and tuloy ng tuloy po yung problema natin. So that is one option. That is why I have been requesting din po sana if we can have those old tarps so that we can run it in our machines too, in our facility, because we have Alpha po kasi has its own facility also. And so together with Dr. Maris Paglikawan, who used to be with the DOST, we will try to see what else we can do with those old campaign tarps.
Thank you.
All right. I think we're done with the open forum because we merged the question and answers right after the speakers, no? Because some speakers had to go. So let's see. You have something to say, Marianne, about pre-registrants?
All right. Okay, before we proceed, I hope our smiles are all ready for the group shots. Let's take the group shots first before we proceed with our announcements. All right. So since we're not gonna have an open forum as we have merged it, we would like to kindly ask our members, participants, as well as our research speakers to please open your cameras for a quick group screenshot to be facilitated by Green Convergence's technical assistant, Ms. Maribeth De Villa. Ms. Maribeth, please cue us in if you're ready.
Okay. So instead of me counting 1, 2, 3, I just want to invite everyone to say green. Okay?
All right.
All right.
Say green.
Okay. Say green.
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 One more. One
Okay.
more green.
Green.
Thank you po.
All right, thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Maribeth. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Director Frances, Attorney Casey, Dr. Cecil, Ms. Michelle, and Ms. Eileen for gracing Kamayan and for providing meaningful discussions related to Operation Baklas. Yes po. All right. So before we end our forum, here are a few quick announcements. First, an important reminder about our evaluation form. The GC Secretariat will be sharing a link in the chat box, and it will also be flashed on screen. Please take a few minutes to fill it out. Your feedback helps us improve future Kamayan para sa Kalikasan forums. Second, for those requesting e-certificates of participation, here's what you need to do. First, you must be actually present in today's forum, not just pre-registered. You must submit a completed evaluation form. Once these requirements are met, you can request your e-certificate. And before we officially close, we'd like to also invite you to become an official member of Green Convergence. If you're passionate about the environment and want to be part of a network of like-minded individuals and organizations, we encourage you to join us. The membership registration link has been shared in the chat box. I hope it's been shared. And you can also visit the Green Convergence website for more details. And of course, we encourage everyone to be mindful of their carbon footprint. Visit the Ako Ang Bukas or AAB website or official Facebook page where you can calculate your carbon footprint and find ways to reduce it. The link has also been shared in the chat box, so go ahead and check it out. Sir Randy?
Okay, thank you very much, Marian. At this point, to officially close today's forum, we have the honor of hearing from another dedicated environmentalist who has imparted much of her knowledge and passion into many environmental programs and projects. Please welcome the Board Secretary of Green Convergence and the Director of Zero Waste Philippines, Ms. Clarissa Magsarili, or Isay. Take it. You're on, Isay.
Okay, hello everyone.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to greet you all, makakalakasang hapon sa lahat. We're almost over with this forum, and first, thank you for joining us. I just realized that there are efforts being done by civil society, government agencies, colleges, universities to repurpose those campaign materials, mainly to avoid them from going to the landfill. Kasi they are very slow to biodegrade. It traps heat and contribute to climate change. According to the COMELEC and EcoWaste Coalition, we are all responsible for our waste. Totoo yun. Their candidates are given 3 days or 72 hours to clean up and have an offsetting carbon footprint activity in accordance with their COMELEC Resolution 11111. They have a complaint center for the public, and they have disqualification things and everything like that. They are looking for partners for disposal plants also. Then we have the DNR, LGU, civil societies that are collaborating and joining efforts to recycle, repurpose those campaign materials. Hopefully, there will be a future regulation to minimize the environment impact of campaign materials based on the reports that will be gathered this year's election. In the universities and schools, they are empowering the youth, as explained by Dr. Cecil, to be environmental advocates. And the involvements in the Baklax initiative is very encouraging. Dr. Cecil explained how they will be doing it. And one thing that attracts me is that they are thinking of reducing the need for propaganda. This program will be a catalyst for reform, for environmental care, and so that the students will work hand in hand with this advocacy. Michelle also shared her tarpaulins, how she makes the tarpaulins into lumber. It is an upcycling activity, creative, and she also informed us about the agricultural waste combined into plastic waste, which is very interesting. They make tiles out of it. They have a machine that can process these products. And then Eileen explained the pros and cons of the recycling these tarpaulins. It's very interesting. I just learned about the toxicity of these tarpaulins, and now I will be very careful about using them and think of ways of not using them with food. Ecological awareness teaches us the importance of recycling, upcycling. Waste should not be allowed to go into landfill. And that is the main purpose of why we are doing all of this. May we be aware that this simple activity of cleaning up is a basic spiritual activity. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Miss Isay. Much. It's a fitting closing. It's a recap of all the discussions of the afternoon. Okay, so Marian?
Yes, that's right, Sir Randy. The work doesn't stop. With all these discussions, it is very much encouraged to be active participants in ensuring our environment is clean and our waters and lands are free from harmful materials. Also, to be active seekers of ways to upcycle and transform these materials into something more useful. Thank you once again to DNR and the organizations, all organizations involved in making Operation Baklas possible. It is no doubt a much needed collaboration. We cannot truly work alone on this, so it is great to see that we are all in on cleaning up our shared home. So now, before we close, we'd like to remind everyone that our next Kamayan para sa Kalikasan Forum will be happening on June 20, 2025. Mark your calendars. We hope to see you all again for another engaging and meaningful discussion. Sir
All
Randy?
right. So, on behalf of Green Convergence, thank you for all who joined. Let us keep the conversation. Let's keep ideas churning in our minds. Let's share what we have learned and invite others to be part of the movement. And together, yes, together, we build a greener and more sustainable future. Remember, the operative word is collaboration. Maraming salamat.
Sa makakalikasang araw sa lahat. Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.